Hi students, this is Sreedevi, social teacher, KGBV PENDLIMARRI, YSR KADAPA District. Students, today we are going to learn 7th class 3rd chapter, that is learning through maps. Students, we know that in this year we got new textbooks and new syllabus for 7th class. You already know about maps in your previous classes, right? And also in 6th class, you learnt that the map making by drawing sketch map. Do you remember? In your 6th class, all are you drawn a sketch map of your school or class or house, etc. Yes, you have learned that how to make maps from your school to your house, from your house to markets, etc. So, you know that you can make maps from one location to another location. Okay? In this session, we are going to discuss learning through maps. Next, learning outcomes. At the end of this chapter, you will be able to understand and use the index of a map like title, scale, symbols, colors, patterns in a map reading, pointing and drawing. Understand various types of maps like political, physical, thematic and historical and their uses. Locate important countries in the world map, states in the India map. Analyze various types of maps and prepare various types of maps. Children, we know that map is a visual representation of an entire area or a part of an area, typically represented on a flat surface. Generally, maps tell us many things about different places, like places that are near to seas, mountains, deserts, and also about the climate of places, vegetation in places, kinds of people, languages, etc. A map is an accurate drawing of a place. Maps are useful to know the exact features of places and calculate the distance between two or more places. Look at the map. Children, what do you observe in this map? This map shows us the route of New Delhi and Vijayawada. Here we can see the three routes: train, road and air. Then we can also observe here the neighboring countries of our India. Children, find out the states which are located in this route between two places. See the map carefully and observe. You can find many things in this map. Okay children, I think you observed the map. Then give the answers the following questions. What do you notice in the map? What does the blue mark in the map indicate? Third one, name the neighboring countries of India. Next, can you name any two states in the given route? And last one, what are the different means of transportation shown in the map? I repeat the questions again. What do you notice in the map? What does the blue mark in the map indicate? Name the neighboring countries of India. Can you name any two states in the given route? And last one, what are the different means of transportation shown in the map? Children, see the picture given on the screen. The mind map of learning through maps. This chart presents the overview of this chapter. Learning through maps divides into two parts. First one is index of a map and second one is types of maps. In index of a map, it explains us about the elements of a map. They are title, scale, symbols, legend, colors, patterns, latitudes and longitudes. And second one is types of maps. In types of maps, we will learn about political maps, physical maps, thematic maps, historical maps. And again, political maps shows us India states and capitals, boundaries, neighboring countries, and world countries' capitals. And physical maps shows us India physical features, rivers. And in thematic maps shows Andhra Pradesh population map. And last one is historical map. In historical maps, we will learn about map of Ashoka Empire. These are the topics we will learn in this chapter, learning through maps. Okay? Maps make our travel easier and accurate in guiding us towards the destination. Here, see the word accurate. What is the meaning of this? Accurate means without any mistake. If we want to go any unknown place, the map will guide us. The route, location, where we are, how to reach the destination, etc. Maps help us in our journey so that we can reach the place easily through the map. So, maps are very helpful. Earlier, travelers had to face difficulty in estimating the destination, direction, and location of the place. For example, Columbus in his voyage supposed to reach India traveling from the west but could reach America. In the 15th century, the discovery era was established, or Age of Discovery sea routes are began. In that time, Turkey king was blocked the trade route to India across the Mediterranean Sea. The Europeans began to search for other route to India. Columbus went westwards and discovered America in 1492. After many unsuccessful attempts of finding a new sea route to India. In 1498, Vasco da Gama discovered sea route to India. This helped to prove that the earth was not a flat disk but a sphere like a ball. Next, Magellan was the first person who voyaged across the globe. The Magellan expedition, also known as the Magellan-Elcano expedition, is aiming to find a maritime route sailing westwards from Europe to the East Indies across the Pacific Ocean, ultimately resulting in the first recorded circumnavigation of the earth in 1522. It is considered by many as one of the most important events in history for its scientific, socio-economic, political, philosophic and theological consequences. The sailors and travelers had a great contribution in map making. Cartographers collected information from them in making maps. What is the meaning of cartographers? Cartography. Cartography means art of map making, and cartographers means peoples who make maps. Okay? We can find references from the history of making maps in cave paintings. You already know about cave paintings. Yes? Earliest maps in the world, first it was prepared by Sumerians. Where it is Sumerian? Sumerian is now present in Iraq. Iraq capital city Baghdad. It is Central Asian country. Sumerian now located in Iraq. Okay. Sumerians made maps around 4000 years ago. 4000 years ago, Sumerians made wonderful maps. How they made maps in those olden days? Can you imagine? Yes, they don't use any paper, pencil, or pen because all these things were not available in those days. They made maps on clay tablets. They take clay and made it like slate or tablet and then print the map and locate their places on that clay tablets. All these are okay. Why they prepared maps? What was the need in those times for Sumerians? What was the purpose? Because Sumerians had lots of temples and had so many acres of land under these temples. So, they wanted to maintain the land records properly and they wanted to know where the lands were available. So, they made maps and located the lands on the map. For this purpose, the Sumerians made maps. So, Sumerians are the first map makers in the world. 4000 years ago, for one purpose, that is maintain the temple land records. Next, Babylonians. After Sumerians, Babylonians. Where is Babylonia? It is in Iraq. It is also located in Iraq. What is the capital city of Iraq? Iraq capital city is Baghdad. Babylonians made maps around 2600 years ago. They also made maps on clay tablets. Why the Babylonians made maps? What was the purpose to prepare the maps? They wanted to know where the water, where the other cities or lands. So, Babylonians prepared the maps for the purpose of to know the water and other cities. Sumerians and Babylonians thought that the earth was round disk. They thought that if they may go any long distance on the earth, edges were there and they may fall down from the earth. That is the world as they thought of it. And thus, they created maps as a round disk with the inner circle of map, showing all the cities, mountains, villages, rivers, oceans of their places. The city of Babylonian was shown in the middle. Beyond the inner circle was bitter river or salt water ocean in which were 7 triangular islands. Around the same time, Greek geographers named Anaximander, Hecataeus of Miletus, and Herodotus also prepared world maps by arranging places from east to west and north to south. Their ideas were similar to the Babylonians, who believed that the earth was a round disk surrounded by ocean river. They traveled widely and noted down the details of the land, people and their histories, etc. Based on the details, they prepared maps and placed Greece in the middle of the map. They even divided world into 3 main continents. They are Europe, Libya, and Asia. The Greeks tried to make maps more accurately through the use of latitudes and longitudes. Let us see how this was done. Greeks tried to find out a set of places where the midday occurred at the same time. They were joined with a line from the north to south. This is called meridian or noon line or longitude. They also tried to draw latitudes by joining places which had equal length of shadow at noon. With the help of these two kinds of lines, they draw a grid on the map and located all places from east to west and north to south along these lines. Preparing these lines accurately was not an easy task. The process of preparing latitudes and longitudes lines took almost 2000 years to draw the correct lines. Okay. Next, one of the famous Greek scholars named Claudius Ptolemy. Ptolemy was considered as second father of geography. Then, who was the first father of geography? Hecataeus. Hecataeus was considered as first father of geography. After Hecataeus, Ptolemy was one of the most important geographers of ancient world. Okay, what is the contribution of Ptolemy? Ptolemy was made accurate maps in those times. He wrote a number of books about the places, but unlucky, we lost the maps which were prepared by the Ptolemy. He prepared accurate world maps using latitudes and longitudes. World maps prepared by Ptolemy and other Greek geographers gave clear information about Europe and other neighboring countries. They also placed Greece or Rome in the central position of the map. Many people were inspired by the book and maps of Ptolemy. They also trying to make new maps. Students, let us know about the Mercator projection. In the 16th century, Gerardus Mercator, known as the father of Dutch cartography, carried out proper work on maps. His projection on maps is called Mercator projection. The maps which we use today are based on this projection. We all know that the world is like a ball, and when we draw it on a paper, only the flat surface will be shown. Such representation causes distortions in the shape of continents and distances. Therefore, for the correct directions and shapes of continents, Mercator shaped a method but with distortion of sizes and directions. This method came to known as Mercator projection. I hope you understand the history of map making, right? Let's go for next topic, that is index of a map. Children, in our previous class, you have an introduction of scale, directions, symbols and colors used in map, right? What are the elements of a map? Title, scale, directions, symbols and colors. These are parts of the index of a map. Let us know how to use these elements in reading, pointing and drawing a map. First one is title. Why do we need a title for a map? Let's see an example. If you're going to draw a picture of an apple, what will you give a title for that? You will write, "It is a sweet apple," so that everyone can understand what is in the picture which was drawn by you. See another example. Here is the India map, but it has no title. In this India map, it is not written the map title, which is India map or political map or physical map. If you give a title to this map, we can easily understand what is it. This is a political map. So, title of the map says about the theme or subject of the map. It reveals the content and items to be discussed. Generally, the title of the map is placed on the top of the map. Okay? Children, this is about map title. Got it? Next, children, we will learn about one of the essential components of a map, that is directions. It is very important to know in which direction you have to go. If you want to reach the exact location, there are many ways to find directions. First, facing the rising sun. Second, with the help of the pole star. And third one, by using a magnetic compass. Do you know the magnetic compass? It is an instrument used to find out the main directions. Its magnetic needle always points towards the north-south directions. So, we can easily find out the direction on the ground. But how can we find them on a map? If you look at the map carefully, you will notice an arrow marked with the letter N at the upper right hand corner. This arrow shows the north direction. When you know the north, you can easily find out the other three directions, that are east, west and south. Do remember, if the north is not shown on a map, the top of the map is shown as the north and the bottom as the south when you stand facing the map. The right hand side is the east and the left hand side is the west. These four directions, east, west, north and south, are called cardinal points. Apart from cardinal directions, there are other four intermediate directions. They are northeast, southeast, northwest and southwest. Okay, we have four main directions, that is N as north, S as south, E as east and W as west. And four sub-directions, that is NE as northeast, SE as southeast, NW as northwest and SW as southwest. Is it clear, children? These intermediate directions are very helpful in locating any place more accurately. Okay, let us try to locate some places with the help of these intermediate directions. Can you tell me which direction of the temple is the school located? Yes, your answer is correct. It is southwest. Now, look at this figure and find out which direction Rani will have to go to reach her school. Yes, your answer is absolutely right. She will have to go to northwest. So children, I hope you understand about the directions, right? Then let's do it. Name the cardinal and intermediate directions in the adjacent image. If you want to travel from Bengaluru to Itanagar, from which direction you have to travel? Okay, let us know about the scale. The distance between the two places on the map corresponds to the same two places on the ground. For this purpose, we select scale of the map. Do you know what is the scale of a map? Scale of a map is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. To understand it better, let us look at the map shown here. Suppose there is a place A, this is another place B, and the distance between the two places is 6 centimeters on the map. Now you can find out the distance between the same two places on the ground. Can you do it? Yes, you can easily find out. If you know scale of this map, suppose the scale of this map is 1 centimeter equal to 200 kilometers, which means 1 centimeter on the map represents 200 kilometers on the ground. Therefore, 6 centimeters on the map will represent 6 into 200, that equal to 1200 kilometers on the ground. Here, I have simply multiplied the map distance, which is 6 centimeters to 200. That is the scale of a map. It is very simple and easy to calculate. By now, you must have understood that scale is very important in any map. If you know the scale, you will be able to convert the distance between any two places on a map into the actual distance on the ground. I hope this is clear to you. Now, we are going to classify maps on the basis of scale. First one is small scale map and second one is large scale map. Let us know about each type of map in detail. A small scale map refers to world maps or maps of large regions such as continents, large oceans, etc. In other words, you can say they show large areas of land in a small space and use a small scale maps such as 1 centimeter equal to 1000 kilometer, which means 1 centimeter on the map shows 1000 kilometer on the ground. Here, I would like to remember one thing. A small scale map gives very little information. Do you know why? Because a large scale area is reduced to a very small size than represented on a flat surface, due to which it is not possible to provide detailed information on a small scale map. Okay, now come to the large scale map. The large scale map refers to neighborhood maps, district or town maps. In other words, you can say when a small area is to be shown on paper, then we use a large scale. For example, 6 centimeters equal to 600 meters. That means 6 centimeters on the map shows 600 meters on the ground. As it is a small area, we can get more information on the map. Hence, you can conclude that a large scale map gives us more information than a small scale map. I hope difference between large scale map and small scale map clear to you. Okay? There are three types of scale. One is statement scale or verbal scale. Second one, graphical or linear scale. And third one, representation fraction. These scale are mentioned below in the map. Now, First is verbal scale or statement scale. It is written in words. For example, 1 centimeter on map represent 50 kilometers on the ground. That means, suppose 1 centimeter on the map, it's equals to 50 kilometers on the ground. 50 kilometers is very vast distance and very easily you can represent on the map by taking any small measurement. But sometimes, what is the disadvantage of this type of scale? Verbal scale is not accurate. Not accurate means it will not give you correct answer. Sometimes the answer may be wrong and give you the same differences, it may not calculate properly. So it is not preferable. Now, second type of scale is representative fraction, and in short we say RF. R for representation and F for fraction. Now, first point of representation fraction is it shows ratio between distance on the map to the distance on the ground. It shows as ratio. Ratio means comparison of two things. Relationship between two things, and what are those two things? Distance on the map ratio, relationship comparison distance on the map to the distance on the ground. What you are showing on the map? What is actually in comparison to the ground? Now see one example of RF scale. 1 ratio 50,000. It will be written in this format. 1 ratio 50,000. 1 centimeter area of map equals to 50,000 centimeter area on the ground. If this 50,000 centimeter I have to convert into kilometers, it will go like this. See, 50,000 centimeter we have. First of all, convert the centimeters into meters. 1 meter equal to how many centimeters? 1 meter equals to 100 centimeters. Since we are going to smaller unit to large unit, we will divide 50,000 centimeter. We have to convert into meters. So, we will divide it by 50,000 by 100. The answer is 500 meters. Now, convert this 100 meters into 500 meters into kilometers. And you know 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meters. When you convert this meters to kilometers, you will divide it by 500 by 1000. That means answer is 1 by 2 equal to 0.5. So the answer is 0.5 kilometers. This 0.5 kilometer equals to 1 centimeter on the map. Now the third scale is linear scale. It is mostly used in all types of maps because it gives you an accurate result in comparison to remaining two. So, what is linear scale? A relationship between the distance on the map and the distance on the ground in form of scale. A scale will be given to you at the bottom of map and it will also having any measurements like here. The scale shows 3 divisions over here, and this represents 1 centimeter of the scale equals to 1 kilometer. That means total 3 kilometers. The scale showing us 1 centimeter equals to 1 kilometer. 3 centimeters equals to 3 kilometer. 1 centimeter of the map will be equals to 1 kilometer on the ground. Okay. Hope you understood about the scale of a map. Okay, let's do. Fill up the given table based on the scale given in the map. Okay, think and respond. What is the use of scale in a map? Let us know about conventional symbols. The symbols help us to understand the information given on it. They are small pictures that are often drawn to look like what they represent. A triangular shape is often used to denote a mountain. A desert is often shown by a group of dots that might look a little bit of like sand, and so on. As you know, maps used for recording and showing a variety of information such as political boundaries, relief features, social and cultural features like temples, buildings, railway lines, etc. But it is not possible to draw the actual shape and size of these features on a map. So, they are showing certain letters, shades, colors, pictures, and lines. These signs and symbols give us lot of information in limited space. With the use of these symbols, map can be drawn easily. Let us try to draw some conventional symbols. Before that, I would like to know why are they called conventional symbols? They are called because there is an agreement among many countries of the world about the common use of these signs and symbols and colors. For example, blue is always shown water bodies and green is used for plains, which you can see here on the map. Thus, these signs and symbols is called conventional signs and symbols. Let's have a look at some of the conventional signs and symbols which are very common and used. This sign stands for temple and this one is useful for settlements. To show metallic roads, we show this symbol and this for trees. Some of you might find it difficult to learn and may think about how to memorize them. But you don't need to worry because on the map you can find the key of the map or map legend. What is this map legend? The map legend is a table of symbols printed on a map to give a better understanding or interpretation of it. With the help of this table, you can easily find out about a particular symbol and what it represents. For better understanding, let us have a look at this map legend, in which you can see signs and symbols for natural highway, road, rivers, lake, government offices, schools, college, mosque, church, and temple. Now you can easily find out the location of these places on the map. So, children, these are some of the internationally accepted signs and symbols which are used on a map. Even if you don't know the language of an area and therefore cannot ask someone for directions, you can collect the information of the maps with the help of these symbols because maps have an universal language that can be understood by all. Look at some of the maps given in your book and try to figure out the important features shown on them. Okay, we'll go for the next topic, colors. When you look at physical maps, you will see that it has many colors. You have already seen so many maps. And in those maps, we have seen the use of different colors. These colors are meanings which help us to understand the map. These colors are used to give us a clear concept, make us understand what the map is. A map of physical features of India shows the land in several colors. These represent the different heights of the land. The sea too is shown in different shades of blue. So, the map is representing the sea by using different shades of blue. This shows us how deep the sea is. Besides the map, you can see the information box. Always there is an information box given beside the map. This is called the legend. It is the key that unlocks the meaning of all the colors. Here, one box is given. Can you see the box? Generally, the following colors are used in maps. First one is the green. Green shows lowlands, land that is almost the same level as the sea. It means plains. Green represent plains. Yellow. Yellow shows high land like plateaus, tableland. 200 to 1000 MSL. For this, we use yellow. Orange. Orange color indicates height 1000 to 3000 MSL. Violet. Violet indicates approx height 3000 to 7000 from MSL. White. White indicates 7000 to 8000 MSL. Do you know what is meaning of MSL? MSL means mean sea level. Let us know about mean sea level. Water tides are two types. They are low tide, high tide. We can observe these tides from the level of the sea and they never stand still due to this reason. The level of the sea keeps either rising or falling. Scientists were in a dilemma as to which of these heights must be considered as sea level or 0 meter height. After a period of time, scientists clearly observed high and low levels of the sea at frequent intervals and arrived as a calculated average level known as mean sea level. This is about MSL. Okay, as per themes, the given colors are used in the map. Dark green shows forest. Light green shows grasslands. Yellow shows plateaus. Dark green shows mountains. Light grey shows hills. Light red indicates wastelands. Light blue shows tanks, rivers, canals, etc. And dark blue shows seas and oceans. Brown indicates land useful for agriculture. White shows places where minerals are available. And black shows boundaries. These are the colors used in maps. Next, patterns. Patterns are special provisions used in the map to describe the variable information of a particular theme. They provide qualitative, quantitative details of information to the given statistical data. For example, density of population, distribution of population, and types of particular concepts like soils, forest, etc. Next, legend. We already discussed about legend in previous topic, right? A table of symbols or tools used in the map are explained briefly to understand or interpret the features of the map. It is seen in any corner of the map. A map legend shows the symbols used on a map and their meanings. A legend can also be called a map key. Think of a map legend like a dictionary. A map legend looks like this. Next topic, latitudes and longitudes. Latitudes are imaginary lines which are drawn horizontally on the globe. Equator divides the globe into two equal halves. The part which lies above the equator is northern hemisphere. The part which lies below the equator is southern hemisphere. Okay, latitudes. Children, here what do you see? Yes, latitudes. The important latitudes of the earth also you can see here. See, the 0 degree latitude is called equator and 23.5 degree north latitude is called Tropic of Cancer, and also 66.5 degree north latitude is called Arctic Circle. Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle, they are laying in the northern hemisphere. That's why they are called north latitudes. So, latitudes are named as north in the northern hemisphere, south in southern hemisphere. S for southern hemisphere, N for northern hemisphere. And one more thing, have you observed, children? Tropic of Capricorn is laying in the southern hemisphere, but the same latitude, see here, 23.5 only, but it is south latitudes, and Antarctic Circle, it is 66.5 degree, same latitude only, but it is in south. That's why it is called 66.5 degree south latitudes. And northern pole, southern pole, both are 90 degree latitudes at we should mention north pole as N and south pole as S. One more important thing in this picture, there are 90 degree latitudes from equator to north pole. How many latitudes? 90 latitudes are laying in the northern hemisphere, from equator to northern pole. Likewise, same way in the southern hemisphere also can find 90 latitudes from equator to south pole. So, equator is only one latitude. It is very largest and circle on the earth. Okay, 90 plus 90 equal to 180. And along with the equator, 181. Latitudes are there totally 181 latitudes. Okay, now longitudes. Longitudes also called meridians. Longitudes are imaginary lines which are drawn from North Pole to South Pole. They are the semicircles and distance between them decreases towards the poles where all the meridians meet. Longitudes are followed by the letter E and W. E indicates east, W indicates west. So, you need to mention E for the east longitude, W for the west longitudes. Okay, now meridian which is passing through Greenwich, where the British Royal Observatory is located, is called prime meridian. So, see the picture, you can see the prime meridian. This is the meridian which is separating the east longitudes and west longitudes. So, where this prime meridian passing? The region called Greenwich. Where is this Greenwich? In the London. Greenwich is a place in London. That's why the longitude called as prime meridian or Greenwich meridian. So, there are 180 longitudes to the east of Greenwich and 180 longitudes to the west of Greenwich. So, totally we have 360 longitudes. So, like equator, Greenwich also called as 0 degree longitude or prime meridian. Okay? Longitudes are helpful for locating the places and time easily. So, these are about longitudes and latitudes. Okay, children? I hope you understood how to use these elements in reading, pointing, and drawing a map, right? Then do it. Prepare a physical map of Andhra Pradesh by using the elements discussed in the index of the map. Okay? Children, with that, I end today's class here. Thank you.